everybody, today we're back with another mega shoe compilation video, going through the main running shoes of one of the biggest brands out there. Today it's the turn of Asics. I'm going to go through the best use cases for each of their main running shoes, plus my likes, my dislikes, to help you with your buying decisions so you can get the right shoes on your feet. As always, here on the channel, I bought all of these shoes 100% with my own money and tested them all myself, so I can give you that 100% honest, unbiased, impartial, unsponsored, ungifted review. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that supports us here on the channel. This video actually cost £1,535 in shoe expense to put together. Just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that likes our videos, shares our videos, checks out the website benparks.com. We've got awesome training plans on there for all different distances, running hats, technical tees, singlets, everything you need to support you on your running journey and supporting us as well, enabling us to make these videos. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to start with the cheapest and finish with the most expensive at the end of the video. We have time-stamped each of the individual shoes, so feel free to have a browse around and jump to whichever shoe you're most interested in. So starting with the cheapest, that's the Asics Novablast version 5. So the purpose of the Novablast version 5, this is your classic daily trainer, the shoe to do all different types of runs pretty well. Price-wise, this set me back £135. Stack height at the back of the shoe, 41.5mm with an 8mm drop overall. Weight-wise, not too bad, coming in for me at 302 grams. With the midsole, we've got Asics' FF Blast Max, and sizing-wise, I went half a size down in this shoe. What I really liked about this shoe, it offers exceptional value here in 2025. This is the joint cheapest shoe in the lineup, and it's one of the very best out there in the daily category, regardless of price as well. Probably the best daily training shoe on the market right now, and one that I find myself constantly recommending. It really does suit the vast majority of runners out there because it's so comfortable. One of the big things with the shoe is it's so versatile with the type of paces that you can achieve in the shoe. Everything from a recovery jog to an all-out 5K race. If you just want one shoe to do it all, it's going to have you pretty well covered in all of those different pace ranges. The main dislike I found with the shoe is the wet weather grip just is not the best. But in summary, if you really just want one shoe to do it all in a classic one shoe rotation, there's really nothing better than the Novablast. If you want to put it in part of a rotation to get a lot of your daily miles done, that sort of 80% of the week when you're out there jogging nice and relaxed, again, a really good option to choose here. A standout shoe not only in Asics range, but the whole running shoe market, and one I'll continue to be recommending. Anyway, let's move on to something slightly lighter and also in that daily shoe market, the Asics Noosa Tri version 16. So the Noosa Tri has always been Asics' daily trainer, but a very lightweight, snappy option without a plate in there. Price-wise, this shoe sent me back £135. Stack height at the back, 35mm, so more of a mid-range stack height here. 5mm drop overall. Weight-wise, very nice and light in that daily trainer category, about 267 grams. Midsole, we've got Asics' FF Blast Plus cushioning, and this was true to size for me. What I really like about this shoe is it's so lightweight. Yes, it's traditionally designed for that triathlon market, hence Noosa, one of the sort of iconic triathlon venues in Australia. Very easy to get on and off if you pair it with the triathlon laces as well. You get some really good, fun, jazzy colorways as well. It just has that simple, old-fashioned, old-school feel due to that relatively low stack height compared to a lot of shoes on the market out now. Super, super comfortable. This shoe is designed to be worn without socks if you want to. With socks is absolutely fine, of course, as well. Hence sort of that triathlon heritage when you've got to get this on in a rush and get out on that run part of your triathlon. It's got that snappy, quick ride, big rocker at the front of the shoe as well, which I really like. If you want that lightweight shoe for some shorter speed sessions or potentially doing some races in as well without the plate, that's the critical thing here, without that carbon plate, this could be one that's definitely worth looking at. I really like the upgraded FF Blast Plus foam, and it's also a very comfortable daily travel shoe option, something that I really reach for a lot when I've just got to walk to the gym or spend some time down in the shops or something like that. And also I think at the price point, really good value that this shoe is offering. In terms of dislikes with this shoe, it really is better suited to those short and medium distance runs. Long runs, you're going to want to find something a bit more substantial, really something like the Novablast Novablast. The vast majority of people will be better suited to the Novablast. It's got a lot more cushioning and a lot more stability as well. But if you just want that sort of lightweight, snappy shoe, bit of an old school feel, shorter distances, that sort of thing you're training for, this one is definitely worth looking at. Right, but let's move on to more of a stability shoe with the GT2000 version 13. So the purpose of the GT2000, this is a daily shoe, but for someone that needs more of a stability shoe with a bit more support for their daily mileage. Price wise, a little bit more expensive, around about £140. This set me back. Stack height at the back, 36mm, 8mm drop overall. But I can feel it. It's a little bit heavier now, 327 grams, due to sort of all the stability features that this shoe is packing in here. Midsole wise, we've got Asics' FF Blast Plus foam with that 3D guidance system on the inside, and the sizing wise, this was all good, true to size for me. In terms of likes with this shoe, good solid build quality. This shoe is going to last a very long time through your training. I think you're easily going to get 1,000 kilometers out of this, no problem at all. So some pretty good value that this shoe is offering. Stability properties in the shoe, for me, they're working quite well. I don't really need a stability shoe. What I can see from other reviews online, more stability runners, they really do praise how well the stability system works in this shoe. If you are a heel striker especially, got a lot of support at the back of the shoe, so a good stability option for those heel strikers. Really comfortable as well, just a simple no fuss option offering a good level of stability support for those runners that need it. In terms of dislikes, it's definitely a little bit on the firm side, which some people might like. If you prefer a more softer cushioned ride, then have a look at the Kayano. We'll have that coming up later on in the video. It really does lack any sort of speed or pop or responsiveness, and the tongue is a little bit on the thin side as well, but just not the most exciting dynamic shoe out there. But in summary, just a solid stability option at an okay price point, but really it's going to be best for those easy and more relaxed runs rather than picking up the pace. Next up, this is the Metaspeed 4. This is a shoe for your tempo runs, your long runs and your long run workouts, and potentially bordering on super shoe territory here, so a shoe you could definitely do some races in if you didn't want to break the bank. Stack height at the back, 44mm, 8mm drop overall. Weight wise, actually surprisingly light here, 288 grams for me in my UK size 12. Midsole wise, we've got a carbon plate in this shoe and some FF Turbo cushioning as well in the midsole, and it was true to size for me. Now what I liked about the Metaspeed version 4, really great cushioning you're getting in the shoe, considering there's also that full length carbon plate in here as well. High quality foam, so it really excels when you are out on that long run. It's going to look after your legs really well at the back of the long run. Once you get up to that 25-30k, it's still there looking after your legs, and the plate is still helping propel you up to the sort of those marathon pace efforts. It really would suit a lot of runners that don't want to spend the 220, 230, 240 pounds on a high-end super shoe as well. For a lot of people that maybe like 3:45, 4 hour, 4.5 hour marathon runners, this is definitely worth looking at in that sort of price range. It's surprisingly lightweight given the max cushion nature of the shoe. Comfortable, gave me no issues, no slipping around. And while you really don't notice the plate in the shoe as you're running along, because it's not super stiff, it's not really aggressive, it's really suited for those mid-pack runners, I think, for a race day option. But as always, we say on the channel, it's not all about the likes, these dislikes as well. It is a little bit on the narrow side. I was quite surprised, and really it's just a little bit chunky, which for heavier runners is going to be a good bonus, but for lighter runners might just find it a little bit clumpy, just a little bit big. This shoe really does need to be in a rotation with something else. It's not a shoe that you could just use by itself, so pair this with something like the Novablast, but it's a good solid shoe. It's not magical, it's not amazing. It's something like the Nike Zoom Fly 6 is maybe just slightly better in this territory as well. It just does this type of shoe a little bit better. There's just a bit more pop and excitement in that shoe. But if you want to stick in the Asics range, it's not too bad. It's really not too bad, and I'd recommend it. Slowing things down a little, we've got the Asics Gel Nimbus version 27, a shoe that is just built for all-out comfort. The purpose of this shoe, recovery, easy runs, slower paced running and walking for, as I say, that all-day comfort. Price-wise, £180. This one set me back. 44mm stack height at the back of the shoe, 8mm drop overall. And yes, it's a chunky shoe, it's a heavy shoe, 374 grams. Midsole-wise, we've got the FF Blast Plus Eco Foam, and there's no plate in this shoe. Sizing-wise, it was all good. True to size for me. Now what I like about this shoe, as I say, it really delivers on that comfort aspect. One of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn for walking, running, anything. definitely one of the most comfortable shoes on the market right now. Super stretchy tongue with a shoe, which I really like, and a very nicely padded heel collar, giving me absolutely no irritations. But it's not super soft and super squishy and super mushy. Go New Balance More version 5 if you want that ultimate marshmallow effect. I quite like it because it has a little bit of spring, it's got a little bit of responsiveness. You don't sort of sink into the tarmac too much. Really good build quality with this shoe, really good premium materials they've used to make it. And at the moment, this is definitely my go-to recovery shoe from any brand out there. Just really like doing those second runs of the day, or just my legs are a little bit tired. This is the one I'm strapping on the feet. It's also going to be really good for all different types of strikers, heel strikers, midfoot strikers, forefoot strikers. Also a really good option for heavier runners. You're not going to be bottoming out this foam. In terms of dislikes with this shoe, yes, it's heavy, it's chunky, but that's kind of to be expected with this type of shoe. It's also definitely on the expensive side. The New Balance More is about £40 cheaper, so have a look at that one if you're interested in something a little bit soft, a little bit more squishy. But if you are looking for a shoe to do some faster running, then really, again, you've got to go back to the Novablast. This shoe is really just that dedicated easy and recovery shoe option only. But in summary, a super comfortable shoe when you want to prioritize comfort out on your runs and you're not worried too much about the pace that you're going at. If you want a shoe with lots of cushioning to soak up the miles in that ultimate comfort running or walking, then this is the one you're going to be looking at, and really one of the best ones on the market right now. But for those of us that need a little bit more stability but something a little bit more plush than the GT2000, this is where the Kayano comes in. The purpose of the Kayano, we're talking a premium stability shoe, Asics' flagship stability shoe, max stack for those longer runs, for people that overpronate, people with flat arches, low arches, things like that. Comment down below if you want to see some more stability shoes on the channel. Price wise, this shoe set me back £180. Stack height at the back of the shoe, 40mm with a 10mm drop overall. Weight wise, definitely a little bit on the heavier side, 371 grams for me in my UK size 12. Midsole wise, we've got the FF Blast Plus Eco Foam with their 4D guidance system as well. And sizing wise, this was true to size for me. Now what I like about this shoe, this 4D guidance system on the inside of the shoe is working really well, and also doesn't feel super invasive. A lot of stability shoes really feel like they're sort of digging into the arches of your feet. You don't get that with this shoe, it's just super comfortable from the off. I really like the wider midfoot you've got in this shoe, just that increased surface area on the outside just adds to that increased stability that the shoe is offering. The foot also sits slightly deeper in the shoe, which stops the foot rolling around too much as well. It's also a really comfortable shoe, good breathability, premium materials, feels like it will last a very long time. If I did need a stability shoe, I think this is the one I would be picking. In terms of dislikes with this shoe, as I say, it's quite heavy, it's quite bulky, so not particularly versatile, and you're going to struggle picking up the pace. But in summary, for someone that does overpronate, that needs that extra stability, this is definitely one of the best ones you can get on the market right now. Super comfortable for racking up all of those daily miles. Moving on to a completely new shoe to me, and a completely new shoe outside of Japan, the S4 Plus Yogiri. The purpose of this shoe, this is a marathon shoe built for people going to do the marathon around about 4 hours. A speed training shoe, it bridges the gap between the Magic Speed and the Metaspeed, which we've got coming up later on in the video. Price wise, this shoe set me back £185. 40mm stack height at the back of the shoe, 6mm drop overall, and nice and lightweight here, 295 grams. Midsole wise, we've got a carbon plate in here, a full length carbon plate, and Asics' FF Turbo Plus foam, and this is paired up below that. The blue section at the bottom of the shoe is Asics' Flight Foam for that added stability and that durability. And sizing wise, this shoe was true to size for me. Now what I liked about the Yogiri, it's got a good amount of stability in this shoe. The actual name, that S4 Plus Yogiri, stands for speed, stability, safety, and sub 4, and it's also a very comfortable option out there. Really good solid lockdown, had no issues with anything moving around, so good width at the front of the shoe as well. In terms of the dislikes, certainly on the firm size, not much energy return out of the shoe either. The plate is definitely on the stiff side as well. I really wanted to like the shoe. I thought it was going to be a really good, interesting thing to have in the range. But personally, I feel runners in that sort of 4-hour marathon window where this is advertised, they're going to want a little bit more cushioning, a little bit more responsiveness. I'd definitely say look at something like the Zoom Fly 6 from Nike, or if you want to stick in the Asics range, that Magic Speed, which we've just talked about. So yeah, this shoe, really confusing for me. A marathon shoe for the mid-packer, but it doesn't really quite work in my opinion. The ride really overly firm and overly stiff, not really the best option for the majority of runners out there. But anyway, move on to one of the greatest shoes of all time, the Superblast version 2. Purpose-wise, with the Superblast 2, this is for long runs and anyone that wants to go out there racing without a plate in their shoe. Price-wise, it's quite expensive, £200 a pair here. Stack height at the back, 45mm, 8mm drop overall, and so gloriously lightweight considering the stack height in the shoe, just 288 grams from me in my UK size. 11.5 because I had to go half a size down in the shoe. Midsole wise, we've got the FF Turbo Plus, the Asics sort of high-end racing foam, and then a little layer at the bottom is just a little bit more hard-wearing FF Blast Eco, just to add a little bit more stability and durability with the shoe. Now what I really like about the shoe is it's so lightweight given its size. Great comfort the shoe is offering and breathability. So when you're out there on those long runs, you're just gonna have the confidence that the shoe is not gonna cause you any issues. Having that massive chunk of that high-end responsive foam in here means you can really pick up the pace when you want to. You feel so much in control. You can just dial up the pace and dial it back down again. So for me, I'm pretty much always training for marathons. If you want to just pick up the pace, that marathon pace as part of your long run, this is a fantastic shoe to do it. It's also surprisingly durable. I've gone through a lot of pairs in the shoe of my training. I'm always getting around 800 to 1000 Ks out the shoe before I can sort of feel it deteriorating a little bit. But really, you could take it a lot longer. This foam lasts a very long time. Dislikes with the shoe, it's on the pricey side, but the durability makes up for it, so that sort of pounds per kilometer really isn't too bad. But in summary, a very unique shoe. There really is nothing else out there on the market, which is why so many people flock to the shoe, and it's got a lot of fans out there. Yes, it's definitely slightly more on the firm side, which I sort of personally like for my longer runs. But if you're putting in some big high mileage weeks, marathon training, doing lots of long runs, this is a really perfect mileage monster to soak up those miles. Very much a 10 out of 10 shoe for me and highly recommended. Right, moving on to Asics' flagship racing series of shoes, the Metaspeed series. We're currently on Paris, which is version 3. We're going to have Tokyo, which is going to be version 4, coming out in a few months. There's two different types of shoes in the series. We've got the Sky and the Edge. I'm going to come on to what those two mean very shortly, but the purpose of this shoe, both of those shoes, is your racing shoes, your 5K races, your 10K, your half marathon and marathon. This shoe delivers across all those different distances. Price-wise, this shoe set me back £220, 39.5mm stack height at the back of the shoe, right at that legal limit with a 5mm drop overall. Weight-wise, so lightweight, 219 grams for me in my UK size, 11.5 because I did go half a size down in this shoe. Midsole-wise, we've got a carbon plate in here, a full-length carbon plate, and a huge slab of Asics' FF Turbo Plus foam. There's a lot of confusion with a shoe between the Sky and the Edge, but generally the Metaspeed Sky, the shoe I've got here, has a slightly bouncier ride in my experience. It's suited for a stride runner, so someone with a longer stride. The plate in the shoe sits slightly higher with less curve in the plate to really help try to increase cadence. It's also slightly wider and a little bit more stable. Compared that to the Edge. The Edge is the shoe you want to be going for if you're more of a cadence runner with shorter steps. The plate sits a lot lower in the shoe to help increase that stride length as you run, and there's also more cushion in the shoe as well, so it does feel slightly softer as you run along. So what I really like about this shoe is it's so ridiculously lightweight, surprisingly comfortable. Usually shoes in this sort of area are built for speed and tend to neglect that comfort aspect of it, but this shoe is absolutely, it nails that comfort, and it's so lightweight, it's so poppy, it's so damn fast as well, it's breathable and has incredible amount of energy return in the shoe. My current go-to racing shoe at the moment for some key sessions as well. In terms of dislikes with this shoe, like a lot of super shoes, it's going to have some instability for heel strikers, but as these type of shoes go at the moment, probably one of the better ones. Another dislike is just this general confusion that everybody has between the two shoes, the Sky and the Edge, and it puts many people off, and I just think they'll go off and buy something else. But again, it's confusing. The Edge for me on paper should be the shoe I would go for, but I really prefer the Sky, and the Sky's performing so well for me. I really would say if you can get into a shop, try them both out side by side. Simply go with what feels right for you. But in summary, with the Metaspeed range, the shoe has massively delivered, over-delivered for me with just how much I've been liking it. Doing so many of my sessions at the moment, bringing it for Comrades and Sydney as well. And I really hope they don't tweak around with the updated Tokyo version very much, because this has been an absolute joy to run in. But that's it. That's the whole Asics range. Let me know your thoughts on your Asics shoe rotation. What do you like? What do you dislike in the range? I really appreciate your support. Please like, share, and check out my website benparks.com as well. I'll see you very soon in the next one.